Let's talk a little more about this loyalty pledge that Republicans and the Republican National Committee want every candidate who is vying for the Republican primary to sign in advance of participating in any debates. We talked about this last week. Many of you wrote to me about it, and we have more about it. I'll remind you what's going on. The RNC and the Republican Party want every single candidate who's running to agree in advance, even if I lose, I will support whoever is eventually the Republican nominee. Really, the concern here is Trump. Why? Well, Trump is a child, and Trump puts himself above everything, above party, above everything. And so it's a legitimate risk to the Republican Party that Trump might run in the Republican primary but lose. Maybe DeSantis wins, maybe, who knows, somebody else wins. And then Trump, instead of saying, hey, you know what, I lost fair and square, I'm going to support the person that won. I mean, it's like laughable that he would do that, right? Trump instead will say, well, you know what? It was stolen, it was rigged, and I'm going to run as an independent and show these Republicans who's boss. And the reason that this would be so devastating to the party is there are so many states where the margins are always thin, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat who wins, everything from Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona. There's so many states where it's always pretty close. If Trump ran as an independent and took just 5 to 7% of the Republican vote, it would guarantee that the Democratic candidate wins. Trump running as an independent could guarantee one of the biggest Democratic victories in 2024 that we've seen in decades. So they've asked him to sign a loyalty pledge. They're asking everybody to sign a loyalty pledge. And one of the things that came up last week was Trump isn't going to do this. But now there's a different perspective. Now the perspective for many of you is, oh, Trump will do it. He just won't abide by it. Well, on CNN, Ronna McDaniel was asked by Dana Bash about this entire loyalty pledge scenario, and here's what she had to say.
I want you to listen to what former President Donald Trump said a couple of weeks ago in an interview with conservative radio host Hugh Hewitt on this very topic.
Please.
If you're not the nominee, will you support whoever the GOP nominee is?
It would depend. I would give you the same answer I gave in 2016 during the debate. It would have to depend on who the nominee was.
So are you prepared to block the former president?
Well, he signed it in 2016. He did. Everybody signed it in 2016.
But this is about the here and the now.
Yeah,
he didn't commit to it.
I think they're all going to sign it. I really do. I think the voters are very intent on winning, and they do not want to see a debate stage of people saying, I'm not going to support this guy, I'm not going to support this guy. What they need to say is, I'm going to do everything I can to defeat Joe Biden. And that means supporting the nominee of the Republican Party.
You can't see a scenario where Donald Trump would just skip the debate if he's forced to sign something saying to support others?
I think want to be on the debate stage. I think President Trump would like to be on the debate stage. That's what he likes to do. And I expect they'll all be there.
So listen, I actually have revised my view a little bit. Last week, I was really leaning towards Trump's never going to sign this thing, and they will capitulate and let him on the stage because otherwise their voters will, start a mutiny. I actually now believe the more likely scenario is Trump will sign whatever he needs to sign to get to the debate stage. He'll play coy if and when the question comes up during the debates. But then if he loses, he'll say, screw that pledge. It's not legally binding. It means nothing. I signed it. But then when I signed it, I meant if they fairly win. They didn't fairly defeat me. So I'm going to go and run as an independent anyway, if that's what he wants to do. The point is, Trump's completely dishonest in this way. And the more I think about it, I can't think of anyone who knows Trump at all, the way we do because we've been following him for so long, who thinks he would actually come out and just say, I am going to support this person that just defeated me. It's very difficult to imagine that that's the case. The interview had another interesting moment, which was about accepting the results of 2024. And Ronna McDaniel also plays coy with this. She goes, oh, yeah, no, I think all the candidates will accept the 2024 results because we're going to win, which is exactly the language that got us into the 2020 mess to begin with.
Promise, we were talking about promises now, that whomever the Republican nominee is, ultimately will accept the results in 2024?
I expect that they will accept the results in 2024. I don't know who that person is right now, but yes, we're going to accept the results. And we're going to move forward and work to govern this country. But I think they're going to accept the results because they're going to be the president.
Well, that doesn't really inspire confidence, Rob. Saying they will accept it either way is different than there's going to be no reason not to accept it because the Republican candidate will have won. So listen, it's not a big surprise, but they are already gearing up for the same election denying nonsense in 2024. Let's not get ahead of ourselves on that. There's time to get to that, but just know they are setting it up. Imagine for a second that you try logging into your email account only to find that your password was changed an hour ago. And then you get notifications of activity from your bank and then your credit cards. That is what identity theft is like, and it's a horrible feeling. And we dealt with it at the show not that long ago, but now I have an app called Aura, which gives me much more peace of mind. Our sponsor, Aura, is the all-in-one solution for keeping your online account safe because Aura will scan the dark web for your personal info, passwords, social security number, and you get fast alerts when they find something. You also get fast alerts about credit inquiries. Aura protects all of your devices from malware. Aura even requests the removal of your info from data broker sites, and Aura helps you manage what your kids can do on their devices. You can restrict certain apps, set screen time limits, set focus times when you need them off of devices. Go to aura.com/Pacman to try it free for 7 days. Your login credentials might already be floating around out there, and Aura will tell you instantly for free. The link is down below.